Let's go!
From Nintendo and Illumination.
The Super Mario Brothers can take care of the kingdom.
Comes a super-powered adventure. On April 1st.
Pack our things.
The galaxy gets even bigger.
He knows that's my bike, right?
Yes.
The Super Mario Galaxy movie. Rated PG. Only theaters April 1st. Get tickets now.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
It's Deprogram, the podcast where we try to get you into an artist. That's right, we've done all the work. All you have to do is press play and listen. And look, I like to be straightforward. This is attempt two, and maybe we can get into all the reasons of why it's take two, why it's attempt two at a later point. Usually, I'm not good at this part anyway, so I guess it's kind of good that we're here. I think last time I said something about Hey Ma, or maybe I said we're going to do it for Emma. That's still the case. I guess maybe I should explain what the podcast is. I haven't done that yet. My name is Justin. This is Deprogrammed. This is a podcast where I am band curious, and I like to get people together to talk about why it is they like these musicians and artists. And today, like I said, it is for Emma. We're going to say Hey Ma. We are going to be talking about Bon Iver today. And Luke, last time you said some really sweet words. You said really nice things. Now you have to remember them all and say them again into a microphone. Talk to me about Bon Iver.
It's funny. I'm not sure that what I said last time is entirely accurate once I went back and reconsidered. But what I said, and the reason that I was so keen to do this is because Bon Iver has maybe accidentally become one of my absolute most important artists for my life. When the first album came out, it was so in my wheelhouse, sad white guy, alone in a woods kind of strumming acoustic guitar shit, that I almost resented it, but I loved it. But I was kind of like, this fits me too well. And then it got mixed up with a relationship I was in at the time. So I kept the Bon Iver kind of at arm's length. And then the second album came out, and I was like, okay, this is one of the greatest albums I've ever heard, but whatever. And, I'm still sort of keeping my distance in a way emotionally. And then at some point during, I guess, the third album, I was sort of like, no, this is exactly what I want from music. Literally, I just it's. We'll get into all the sort of aesthetic reasons why I fucking love it so much, but it has become Justin Vernon and his whole project has really become an incredibly important part of my life.
And last time, before the robots came to take us away, Branden, I made mention that this is, again, me making judgments based on the times you've been on the show. This is outside of what you're normally here to talk about. But then the robots took you away. So talk to me about Bon Iver and why this is one you wanted to jump on.
Yes, it was all my fault. Technical issues, the internet, series of tubes, Al Gore. The whole thing. It was my fault. Anyway, I contain multitudes. I don't just listen to Pearl Jam and Smashing Pumpkins and metal. I listen to weird stuff too. This isn't really weird though. It's probably maybe no, it's not the most poppy stuff that I listen to. I mean, you got K-pop demon hunters out there. So That slaps.
Mhm.
That's 6/7. I don't know what the kids say these days. But I first heard of Bon Iver because I'm an NPR nerd, and so at South by Southwest in 2008, it might have been right around when his album was coming out, or right before, or something like that. Before he got his record contract with Jaguar. I heard about them. I heard about him on NPR All Songs Considered or something like that, and they played this whole South by Southwest concert, and I was just like, oh man, this is guitar-y and sort of pressing and just very, very desolate sounding, and that's kind of how my headspace was. I think at that time, this was a little bit before I met my wife, so that's probably why it connected with me. And just as his other albums came out and sort of his style sort of established as just a musician and not necessarily like a folk guy or something, it was just, oh wow, kind of like brought me along for the ride and expanded my horizons a little bit. I think that he's very sort of Prince-like in that way of just, playing a bunch of different instruments, and also just sort of like playing music and not necessarily playing a style.
Yeah. Man, you guys have all these like awesome stories with connecting with this artist, and I have all right. So, I remember seeing Bon Iver a million times, seeing the name and never.
Bon Iver?
No, Bon Iver. I remember seeing it God knows how many times and not clicking, not thinking about what that is. I was like, what the fuck is this Bon Iver? What is this? And I wrote it off for God knows how long. And then, God, this is so stupid. One time on Smartless, Bateman was making fun of Arnett, and he said something, oh, you're going to go listen to your Bon Iver? And Arnett just tore him to shreds. And he goes, you mean Bon Iver? And he's just going on and on. And I was like, oh shit, I'm stupid.
Well, Arnett taught you how to pronounce it.
Yeah. So Arnett put me on the right path. And then, God, a lot of people were probably introduced to this gentleman through Taylor Swift. And Exile is one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard, period, end of story. And his half in that, of course, is a huge reason for that. And I was like, this is that guy? And so like, I've just been intrigued by this artist ever since I learned how to say the name correctly. And then the math clicked that it was this guy on this Taylor Swift song that I love. So it's been a good couple years of me going, man, I'd like to cover him on the show. We got to get to it. And then here you are, Luke, you put him up on the board. So we finally start putting it together. It's not like a ton of songs, but as you guys have both kind of said, like this guy doesn't live in one wheelhouse. So when you're looking to put together your list for this one, what is it that you're looking to pull out and bring to the table?
I went back and forth. So I'm enough of a dork. I've got several artists that I like enough that I've ranked every song that they've ever made. And so I was like, this will be easy. I'll just take my top 20 from my ranked Bon Iver list. And then I started going through it and I was like, no, this won't do. So I went back and forth a lot, and I eventually just had to, because You made reference to Taylor Swift. I think the Bon Iver eras are so important, and distinct and sort of like build on one another that I just went, all right, I'm going to take 4 songs from each era, essentially, kind of 4 songs from each of the 5 albums.
Hmm.
And I gave myself that like limitation. And so that's what I was able to. I don't know if that's like a spoiler for our lists, but I had to put some kind of structure to it. Otherwise, I would have never trimmed the list down to 20.
So, Branden, as you're looking to do this as well, like, is this something that's difficult to put together? Because you said it's not exactly. Just talk to me about what your mindset was going for this list specifically.
For this specific one, I sort of my plan, no, my theory, no, my what the hell's the word I'm looking for? My plan,
Strategy?
whatever.
Strategy?
Strategy. Oh, god damn it! Yes,
Strategy.
my strategy. My strategy for this. My energy drink isn't kicking. It isn't kicking. I had a whole week's worth of long shifts, so. Anyway, my strategy for this episode was going for the stuff that I think is the most, not necessarily plain, but sort of stuff that I think is a good representation of what the song is trying to accomplish, like what this sound is. That's also going to appeal, I think, to an average person that that's coming into Bon Iver cold and doesn't really know anything, or maybe just knows, Taylor Swift or something like that. And so that's sort of how I went about it, because I know there's some stuff on some of the albums that's just like way out there and just jazzy and just electronic and kind of weird sounding. I'm like, oh hell yeah! It's like, oh wait a minute. Maybe I'll put my foot off the gas a little bit on this one and go for something a little bit more wholesome. Yes.
Well, it's funny, Brandon, because I thought the same thing, and then as I was like going through my list recently, I thought I picked like really accessible, like the accessible Bon Iver songs, and I listened to some of the songs. I was like, this is weird as shit. Like he's not inaccessible, but yeah, like it does get a little weird. It especially gets a little weird for an artist who has a reputation as like it can be a little cringy to say that Bon Iver means so much to me. I mean, for God's sakes, Brandon first learned about him through NPR. I think I bought the self-titled second album at Starbucks, and then Justin learned about him through Taylor Swift. So like this is not like a really cool artist, but I think he makes really cool music.
Yeah, that's a great point. As mentioned, I had Exile on the mind coming into this. And then like as we were starting, Brandon said something to the effect of he's kind of a winter artist, or at least he starts that way. So like I had that on the brain going in. And I think I may have said this on the national episode as well. If I didn't, I'm repeating myself. But especially on those songs, I had that line from 33, as I pull my collar up and face the cold on my own. Like that comes to mind a lot in those first couple of records. And I was listening to the playlist on a walk, and like it all that is kind of going through my mind. I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. I get what this guy's doing. And then 22 a Million comes up, and I was like, wait, this guy does weird shit too? What? like suddenly it's a complete tonal shift where it's clearly still him, but it's taking chances I didn't see in a million years between what he had put out I'd listened to so far, and again, being the guy I heard on the Taylor Swift song. So it's like, okay, this is going to be different. And then the next record, I'm like, okay, like this kind of lives sort of near there. Okay. And then the last record I start listening to, and it's like this beautiful combination of the both. Like,
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. Like the choices I had to make from that were just absolutely heartbreaking, because there's going to be songs that are going to be said today that I'll be like, yeah, I get that, but I don't have it. Like
It's going to be that annoying thing where like someone will say a song and I'll go, it's one of my favorite songs of all time. I didn't put it on my list. You know?
Yeah, it's just it is. Was a much more difficult list than I expected when my thought is Taylor, the Exile guy, Taylor Swift guy. Like, I thought it was going to be just picking from a bunch of winter songs and going, okay, here's 20 winter songs. Very good. And by the way, like, he's really fucking good at that. Like,
absolutely.
His winter songs, like the Pull My Collar Up, Face the Cold, that shit is fucking great. But like the fact that he's willing to take these chances on, like, he would probably be huge if he just stayed in that one pocket. And I mean, you know, obviously he's not small. Like, fucking idiots on Smartlist are talking about him. We're talking about him now. He's on a Taylor Swift record. Like, he's not no one. But I don't know, man. Like, this was very confusing, but fucking wonderful.
He also, like, another like interesting or important part of his story is like his friends, if that's a dumb way to put it, but like he's worked with so many people at this point, and he has so many side projects that are legitimately really good. I mean, fucking
Volcano Choir.
Yeah, Volcano Choir is great. Big Red Machine is great, and Kanye West on like one of the landmark hip hop albums of all time was like, "Hey, I'm gonna not only bring you into the recording, but I'm gonna like sample and reinterpolate one of your songs." You know, like, so I get the sense from his musical evolution that I don't know if he's pushing against the narrative that he was this loner in the woods who made For Emma, but it just seemed like he wanted to keep working with people and bringing more people into his orbit, and I just think that's great. I like almost from a philosophical perspective, from a creative perspective, I'm just like, yes, that's the kind of artist I want to support and the kind of artist I'm going to vibe with.
I wanted to say, like, you know, here before I forget it, strangely, he reminded me a lot of someone else we did on the show recently, Paul Simon. Like, you know, I couldn't tell you if necessarily the songwriting, you know, but like the worldliness, the curiosity about different music is what the comparison was for me. Like, it feels like he didn't want to be just like, he can do this one thing, like, but like, let's use that as a baseline for all this other stuff. And it felt like he got pretty worldly in some of those middle records. And it was just weird that I kept coming back to Paul Simon. And I don't think that is something I would have guessed a couple months ago.
I love that you said that, because Paul Simon is literally my favorite artist of all time.
Oh.
And I had the thought recently, probably like thinking about recording this podcast, I was like, would it be stupid to compare the second Bon Iver record to Graceland? Just the way that like it exploded his sound, but it was still obviously him.
No, I get that totally. Like, it may not have the same like weight as far as culturally, but I think comparatively, yeah, I get that. I get that a lot. I mean, we could wax poetic about this all day, but I feel like we got to start getting some numbers here so we can start, creating the pain, as it were. Everything we've said so far seems to point to a bloodbath, right, Luke? Like, how many do you think we get through here unanimously?
I think there are like, I'm gonna say 3. I really think we're only gonna get 3.
Okay, it's low, but like I get that as well. What do you think, Brandon? Are we making much ado about nothing? Is there more out there than we think?
I think that the way that Luke described his process for it, that's informing my guess right now, because I also ended up with 4 from each album. And it wasn't really my intention to do that, but it was just sort of happened, except for the last one, which was really hard to make the cuts on that one. But I think that there's enough of his songs that like are gut punches instead of just like sneaking up behind you, that I think that we're gonna agree a little bit more than you might think, Justin. So I'm gonna say 6.
I like that. Take the swing. I like it.
I hope Brandon's right. That's more fun.
Yeah. I hope. So that leaves the question. The number I always like to take right in the middle is available. There's a good space between you two, or I can do the thing I did on Hootie and go above what both of you all have picked, and then still outperform it.
Be a legendary 10.
Well, sometimes I like to look at my list and see if there's one that I would like fight for if it doesn't get in, and that kind of informs like how hard I want to play on the final say. I think there is. Yeah. I'm going to go 5 because I think there is a song I would for sure fight for. All right. Let's hope we let's hope and cross our fingers that well, I don't know, man. More people should know this guy is the end of the story, right? Like that's the reality of it. So the more songs we name, the more chance that somebody gets into them. So we're going to take a quick pause, and on the other side of this, we are going to play the game. It's the program, Jack. And with that, the name of the game is Deprogrammed. The 3 of us have combed through the Bon Iver discography and plucked out 20 songs that we're now going to mash together in an attempt to create a top 10 starter kit for you, in case you have never given Bon Iver the time of day. And I'm going to go well outside of my normal playing pattern and normal strategy. I sometimes like, with artists like this especially, I like to go to the point where I really knew I was in more trouble than I thought I was with this guy specifically. I was like, okay, I see what's going on here, and then I get to this song and I was like, well, shit, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought. How about Things Behind Things Behind Things?
I've got it.
I don't have it.
Okay, I'll take that too. Yeah,
I'll take it too.
It goes into that, I think it's technically the second track on that record. No, maybe. I don't know. But that starts playing and I'm like, oh shit. Again, usually you get to that last record and you assume, okay, there's going to be a little bit of a fall off and, maybe this will be the one that has the easy cuts. No, Sable Fable did not have the easy cuts. So,
and that's aside from just like some drone sound. That's the opener for that album. So okay. I'm like you, Justin. I love an opener.
Well, again, like, tell me what's going on, and in this case, tell me what's changed, and immediately you're telling me what's changed. You've set the tone, and I immediately knew that this album was going to be trouble from this song. So, all right. Things Behind Things takes a 2. It gets to remain alive. And we're going to move over to you, Luke.
All right. I don't even know where to begin. I think I'm just gonna nominate like favorites so that like let the heartbreak happen immediately. um the song that the way that you said you knew you were in trouble, the song that made me realize like this guy's an all-timer for me is off 22 a Million, and it's 33 God.
I got it.
Okay, I don't, but we'll take that too.
Take it too. It's one of the things that I think is so cool about his music is it strikes me as almost like arena folk. Like the sounds are so big and epic on this, and he's using like vocal samples and things like that. That 33 God like almost made an atheist like me be like, oh, I see. Yeah. Take those quotes away from God in the title.
I get you. That's such a great way. Arena folk. Yeah. I immediately locked in to what you were saying. Like that is a great description.
And they're my favorite songs of his.
All right. We'll take that too. And Brandon.
I'm going to go for an opener and say Blood Bank.
Yes, I got it.
Oh, I've got it too.
Yes.
There we go.
There we go.
All right.
To be fair, I did not get a ton of answers from the internet about this, but this is one that I got, I think twice. Yeah, twice. So, I mean, look, that did not inform my decision. I had already had it on my list. But it kind of lives. Oh, funnily enough, I hadn't seen this image. There's an image of a car covered with snow for this song. Huh. Who knew? Probably you guys, not me. Sometimes I should look at the things. But yeah, Blood Bank. Boom. Let me find it on this list, and then we will move on. But it does have that cold thing that he does so well. All right, Blood Bank in. All right. Let me put another one out that came through on the wire just to see. How about Restacks?
I got it. Wow, look at us.
Hey. Hey. All right. Boom and boom. And let me find that here. Yeah, this one was 641 is not something I usually want to bring to the table. But like it's fitting, especially for this guy, right? Like it doesn't feel like 641. Like it doesn't feel fast, but it doesn't feel like 6 minutes and 41 seconds.
I'm with you. Every time I listen to the song, I'm surprised by the runtime.
All right. Boom, boom, boom. And Luke.
Okay. So picking a song off the second album, I could have had pretty much every track on there, but there is one that kind of feels like a standout, and that's Holocene.
I got it.
I got it.
Hey.
Yeah. See, we've already hit my 3.
Yeah. See?
I thought you said 4.
Oh yeah, I definitely said 4. No, I said 3.
Oh.
See, you could have taken that. I mean, I wrote down 3, but
no,
we could have changed it.
But one of the reasons I said 3 is because I do feel like they're, like just using this album as an example, I could see you all being like, no, that one's good, but, and having some other song that I would agree, like, yes, that one's also incredible. So, but Holocene does feel almost like maybe the most Bon Iver song.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. All right. Boom. Brandon?
I'm gonna go for something on II. How about Rabbi?
No.
Not for me either.
Okay.
I feel like
I couldn't be hitting all dingers.
I feel like that one's going to be hard. Like those two in the middle there are going to be hard for us to find, I think.
Yeah.
Because different years, different days,
Absolutely.
All right. I'll stay there with you and see if we can't find one. Well, I already used this once, so how about Hey Ma?
I do have Hey Ma.
All right. We'll take a 2 there.
Take it 2.
Boom and boom.
Is the Bon Iver version better than the Cameron version?
That's a good question. I like how laid back it is. I'll say that. That's what brought me to the dance. All right, Luke.
Okay, let's go with. I'm gonna stick with II since we're sort of in that run right now, and I'm going to nominate Faith.
Yeah, I got that.
I don't have that one.
Ooh.
All right, we'll take another 2. Take another 2 there. Boom and boom. 3's not looking bad. There's still like plenty of gameplay, but
yeah.
All right, Brandon.
Okay, let's go back to 22 million then. How about 29 Townside Stratford Apartments?
Yeah, I got it.
I do not have it.
Oh.
See, that's
and I know.
Yeah.
Everyone always does this. That was my last cut.
Oh. There's going to be a lot of that. A lot of those so close to my lists. Especially, I think, like I said, with 22 million and I feel like there's going to be a lot of that.
I might regret that. I almost thought about lying right when you said 29. I almost went, yeah, and then just cut out another one, because I love that song.
Yeah, but then you got to do the work of finding which one you're cutting.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody wants that. All right. How about I try one from the second record? How about, I presume this is Minnesota, Wisconsin?
I have it.
I don't have that one.
All right. This second layer of conversation's already looking like it's going to be brutal.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. Luke?
Let's go with Sable Fable. I have Day One.
No.
I got it.
A
lot of 2s.
Yes. Yes. And you know what I didn't do today that I did last time, Luke? Last time when you jumped on the call, I was re-listening to my list. I did not do that tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, of course, it was because I was listening to Devil's Hockey, but also, it makes this conversation a lot easier.
Yeah, you don't need some song that had already been off the list jumping up and
right, yeah. And then trying to find where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. That was Luke, right? Day One.
Yep.
All right, Brandon.
How about Beth Rest?
Yes.
I do not have it.
Oh.
I know.
I'm
so sorry.
So much of that. I think we have cleared NTP. I don't think anything's coming out of the bin. Yeah, we definitely have. And things are actually going to have to get cut at this point. So, all right. Back around to me. I'll try another Sable Fable. How about Everything is Peaceful Love?
I've got it.
I don't have it.
This is
I
almost exactly how I
Uh-oh.
thought this was going to go, though.
Yeah.
Almost precisely. So
I also, for Everything is Peaceful Love, I like that song, but I wish that Short Story, the song that precedes it and like kind of flows into it, I wish it was just one track the whole thing, and it might be my favorite like song that he's ever made if he just hadn't like cut them.
you know what's
I know
fun?
that sounds stupid, but
No, it doesn't. Honestly, I think that's what happened here. Is I think that track got me to pay attention, and then when it flowed into Peaceful Love, I'm not sure that I even noticed until I
Yeah.
went back and noticed. Oh, they're separate, but
yeah, like
I still like.
yeah,
Peaceful
they're
Love.
always going to be grouped in my mind.
All right. So it gets a 2, and these cuts look more and more brutal by the second. All right, Luke.
Let's go with we'll go back to For Emma and For Emma.
Yes.
I don't have that one. Maybe my strategy going into this was wrong.
I don't know, man. There is a lot here. We were all just. I think no. If I'm being honest, this is exactly what listening to this was like. Like, it is the day you listen to it. Like, if I would have listened to it again today, I would have had a different list, probably. Save for a handful.
Exactly how I feel.
All right, Brandon.
Okay, how about here's one of the ones I have on for Emma. How about The Wolves, Act 1 and 2?
So good, but no.
Yeah, so good, but no.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take a complete failure rather than another another 2 at this point.
I mean,
There's such good stuff. Like
Make the
each
list a little
time,
easier.
each time I feel like personally apologizing to you. Like, Brandon, I'm sorry I let you down.
sorry I did you wrong. All right, we're starting to get down to it here. See, that was one answer I got. All right, let me try another Sable Fable answer that I got from the internet. How about There's a Rhythm?
I do not have it.
No, I don't have that one.
Oh, into the bin he goes. I mean, at
Wow,
least,
that's tough.
I mean, deep into the game, but into the bin. All right. Luke.
Great song. Okay, back to let's do 22 a million. I have 22 over soon.
No.
No.
Ooh.
I know. Not to keep repeating myself, but that record was just like you could pick anything, and that, yeah. All right, Brandon.
Okay, how about
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese, best thing ever.
Predator Badlands, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.
Here, you're not the predator. You're the prey. 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 Prey.
Critics are saying it's epic, stunning, and breathtaking.
Many have come here. None have survived.
Predator Badlands, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+, rated PG-13.
_45 _.
No, I'm sorry.
We're looking at all these ones that were like, yeah, I can cut this one. Like, sure. Like, nobody's gonna bring these, right?
I had a hard time with the back half of both 22 a million and I because this like the entire back half kind of feels like an extended kind of like jazzy piece, and so picking one track out was tough. spoiler, I kind of did a little bit on one of them, but like all of those, the whole second half of 22 a Million is just beautiful.
I wonder if that's what happened. And I just, again, didn't clock it as it was happening.
Couldn't remember what was what. It was calling a call.
Right.
A hunk.
I'll trot out a 22 a Million song here just to see. How about 00000 million?
Nope. That was a late cut for me.
I should have saved it for the dump out. All right. Speaking of that, hold on. Let me give a count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. So yeah, I think we got like a round or two, depending on how we do here. Luke.
Well, I kind of have a sense now of where we're at on 22 a Million. So I'm going back to Bon Iver, and I'm going to say Perth.
Oh, fuck me. No.
Another late cut for me.
All right. Brandon?
Okay, this I think should be an easy one, just to get our spirits back. How about Speyside?
Yeah, I got it.
Should be an easy one. Guess what?
We'll take the 2 there, though. At this point, even though it's already going to be difficult, we'll take the 2.
Again, Brandon, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
All right. I think we'll call this one our last round. So trot out your best shots here. That's a 2. You know what? My best shot is, I guess, the last one that I got as an answer, even though that hasn't traditionally done me very well tonight. How about Skinny Love?
Yes.
Nope. I know. Skinny Love was on there, and then when I basically like subbed Blood Bank for Skinny Love.
Is it the covers kind of oversaturating it for you, or?
You know what? Maybe it is, because the song has sort of fallen for me over time, and it might just be that I listened to it too much, and now I don't have the same kind of relationship to it. Mm-hmm. But it felt like that and Blood Bank take up a similar space in his story and like in the fandom, so I wanted to just choose one of the 2.
Okay.
Understandable. All right. Luke?
Okay. This is hard, y'all. Let's go with, it's kind of like an opener track, but I opens with I, me, lowercase I, capital M, lowercase I.
Very good, but no.
No.
All right.
Brandon.
Okay. How about let's bury the hatchet, I guess, with I. I'm gonna say Shediah, or Shittiest Day in American History.
Nope.
No. Wait. All right. So we have a chance still. I've got a good 4 or 5 left that maybe we hit a walk off here to get a couple more. But all right, I'm gonna start at the top. Flume.
Yes.
I have Flume.
I kept dancing around that one. Why did we keep dancing around that one?
Amazing.
It's the obvious pick. I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, we were floundering around here forever. Like, we could have just.
We're just edging the audience. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. We're really gonna say Flume.
Yeah. All right, boom. That brings us up to 4 at least. So I'm back on the hook because it's possible that we hit my 5. All right, next is Wash, which maybe it's short for Washington.
I got it.
I do not have it.
All right, we'll take another 2 there.
And was a brutal cut.
No kidding. All right. Next, you manlike.
No.
Oh. Marion.
No.
Nope.
All right. And last chance to put me on the heat. Walk home.
No.
Nope.
All right. So we're going to land at 4, which means we are going to have to work out all the rest of it. But you can make it a little harder here, Luke.
How so?
Dumping out whatever you got left.
Oh, dumping out. Sorry. Towers?
No.
It seems like I have a lot left. This is weird. 666 weird upside down crucifix.
No. Weird
Um,
upside down T, lowercase t?
yeah, what is that thing? 8 circle? Off 22 a million.
No.
And then Naeem off II.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hey.
take that too. That one was a close one for me. It was really close.
And then I'm still dumping, right? Because I still have one
whatever
more.
you got left. Yep.
Okay, then If Only I Could Wait from Sable Fable.
That was a late cut for me.
All right. And then for shits and gigs, Brandon, whatever you got left.
I had Calgary, short story,
Yeah.
and I'll Be There.
Let's see. I'll Be There was an answer I got really late today on Facebook. And it almost made me go back and listen, but like I said, I don't want to do the work. So,
I'll Be There's it's so great.
I'm kind of shocked that award season didn't get brought up. I mean, obviously none of us had it, so like I don't feel bad for not grabbing it, but it was one I was listening to last week, right before the call, that I was like, well, shit, do I need to make room for this? So apparently I was wrong. All right, so we got 4 here. Let me sort this sheet here. We can go down it. We're off to a good start, even though we covered like the entire gamut here. We got Blood Bank, Restacks, Holocene, and Flume are in. And then, how many 2s are there here? 14 that we need to trim down to 6. So I'm going to start reading these down. Things Behind Things Behind Things, 33 God, Hey Ma, Faith, 29 # Stratford Apartments, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Day One, Beth Rest, Everything is Peaceful Love, For Emma, Speyside, Skinny Love, Wash, maybe short for Washington, who knows, and Naeem. As I read those down, is there one that's kind of jumping out at you, Luke, that is like, man, we really should have had that one?
I mean, definitely a few of them are. Like, I feel guilt for not having 29 Stratford Apartments because I love that song so much. And then I think we should just push in Beth Rest because I think that's an important song. And there's actually a version of it, like a very acoustic, quiet version that was, I don't know, it's like recorded at the Rare Book Room. I don't even know what that is, but that's how I look it up, is the Rare Book Room version. That is also beautiful and doesn't have any of that big 80s synth stuff going on. So Beth Rest is the one that jumps out as like, that should probably be in there.
All right. He's proposing also taking Stratford Apartments, Brandon. I mean, you're on both of those, obviously. Are you good with grabbing both of those?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's do that. I always like to just make sure. All right. So is there one, we're taking both of those, Beth Rest and 29 Stratford Apartments. Is there one that was jumping out at you, Brandon, that you feel like, man, we should have had that one?
first. Probably. I'm going back and forth, like seeing if there were like some hard cuts that I made that you guys were all in on. I think maybe for Emma.
Yeah.
This is another starting debut album one. Couldn't hurt.
Okay. Let's grab that. Boom. And that brings us, what, to 7 now? All right, so the next hard question before we do anything else. What do we think about album representation? Is this something that we feel is important to have here?
I kind of think it is. Unless it'd be a fun little like whiplash for people to be like, okay, all right, I get it. Flume for Emma, Stax, Blood Bank, and then all of a sudden we're just like, here's Naeem. But yeah, because he does seem like this project does seem to be so based around different eras and things. I think it'd be nice to get the later albums at least one track represented.
All right, so let's tackle our I selection first. So we've got Hey Ma, Faith, and Naeem to choose from. Is there one that's you're kind of leaning towards, Luke?
Oh, well, selfishly Faith, because it might be my favorite song of his. And it really does that arena folk thing so well. But Hey Ma also feels like the kind of representative track from that album. So
I had both of those. Do you have an inclination either way, Branden, or did you want to go to bat for Naeem here?
Yeah, I didn't re-listen to the picks either. So but I had both of those. Both of those were close to making it for me. I did some other research though, looking at like what people online, like the top plays from Bon Iver, to see how we compared once we get to the end of our list. So you'll have to stay tuned for the after show. Hey. What? But I think Hey Ma is one that people like.
Okay.
So that might
that might grab some. And this isn't saying Faith is going in the bin, because we still have 2 more picks after this. It's just saying let's take Hey Ma first. So let's do that. All right, and now go ahead.
Hey Ma almost didn't make my list, but for the same reason that Branden said, it feels like kind of the most popular track from that album, and it's such a good time listening to that song that I think it should be included.
There we go. All right, so let's look at these Sable Fable tracks. We've got Things Behind Things Behind Things. Day One, Everything is Peaceful Love, and Speyside to choose from. And I feel like this is true splits. I think I had everything but Day One. It looks like Luke had Things Behind Things, Day One, and Peaceful Love. And Branden didn't have Things Behind Things or Peaceful Love and had everything else. So is there a way you guys are leaning on these tracks?
For me, go for it, Branden.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's like I think we could probably leave, even though it's an awesome song, as are all the ones we picked, because why else would we pick them? Probably Speyside, because I think that sound is sort of represented with the earlier sort of albums and stuff. And while it's kind of like cool to hear him dip back into it on a later album, in the context of this sort of playlist, it's, kind of like, okay, yeah, we know that he does this as a song.
Yeah, I get that. So
I was going to say the exact same thing.
All right, so we'll drop
and
that.
Maybe even Things Behind Things for the same reason. It's a little more like early Bon Iver than the other options.
No, I'm with that too. Yeah. I mean, whatever makes this part easier. All right, so really we're looking at Day One versus Everything is Peaceful Love. I mean, again, we have enough room to take them both. Is this a one or the other situation?
Yeah, maybe. This is nitpicky. The vibe of Hey Ma and Everything is Peaceful Love feels similar in a way.
Yeah.
And then
I get that.
this might be a reach, but one of the cool things about Day One to me is that there are a couple of other artists like featured on it, which hints a little bit towards Justin Vernon's greater project of working with a lot of different artists. Like Big Red Machine's last album was basically a totally collaborative piece with like all kinds of different artists. And then Day One has Dijon and Flock of Dimes, which is Jess Wasner from Wyoke. And so like I think it'd be cool to hint at the fact that he is so collaborative with that track.
I mean,
is that a reach?
I don't think so. We're trying to show what this guy does. And if we don't want to kind of push same vibe / same sound type stuff, like, which is what you said with Peaceful Love, then I mean, Day One would be the natural choice. And I just got to ask you, Branden, you were in on that one. You weren't in on Peaceful Love. Is this a hard sell for you?
No, I like the logic of it sort of being collaborative and sort of like a big, sort of coming from being alone in the cabin. There were other people that were there, showed up and everything like that. But like, and then to like the big, huge sort of collaborative, just throwing in a bunch of people and just jamming out, man.
All right, so we'll grab that as our 9th song. Now the big question. We've got one more spot. Everything is now represented. Is this just a best song goes in? Let me run down what we got left here. We got 33 God, Faith still hanging around, Minnesota, Wisconsin. I guess technically Everything is Peaceful Love is out. And then Skinny Love and Wash. Is one of those jumping out at you, Luke?
Yeah, a lot of the tracks are jumping out at me, but in a weird way, maybe I'm too influenced by like Bon Iver fans. I think 22 a Million for a lot of people, particularly Bon Iver people, is really important. And I'd almost I would argue that we should just pick whatever track you want off of 22 a Million, and that should be included. Because we have you know what I mean? Like we have one on there, and we all went with a bunch of different tracks from it. But I think it's an important album for his evolution, and I'd love to see another one in there, whichever one it is.
All right, so that would point to 33 God being the only one.
That's the only one that had a 2.
Yeah, the only one still around. You both had it. I didn't. If you're good with it, Branden, we can put that one through.
That one's good.
All right, boom. Let's do it. Let's not overthink the room, eh?
Beautiful.
All right, so let me shift that out. I'll read down this 10, and then we'll crank up the heat a little bit. It'd be funny if I did the math wrong and it was actually 11, and we had to go back and cut it. All right, so we've got Blood Bank, Restacks, Holocene, Flume, 29, hashtag Stratford Apartments, Could be hashtag. Who knows? Beth Rest for Emma, Hey Ma, Day One, and 33 God. I read those 10 down to you, Luke. And which one of them is the one?
The one to me, I hinted at it earlier, I think is Holocene.
What do you think, Brandon?
I was actually just about to say that too, because when we mentioned that, it's sort of like everybody was sort of like picked up. It's like, oh yeah, that
yeah,
yeah.
You know, again, why fight it? Like, yes,
it's late. It's been a long day. We'll just
Justin's so agreeable. He's like, the Devil's won. Let's just wrap this. Whatever you want.
But I mean, like, not to be that guy, but I do feel like something could be said about all of these. Really, like,
yeah.
I feel like he's rather prolific, especially if you're me and you came in through the Taylor Swift gate. Like,
yeah,
it is exactly what you think it is, but it also is so much more than what you think it is. And you know, for that, I really enjoyed this journey with this gentleman. So we're gonna go with Holocene. We're not gonna fight it. Let's run it down one last go. Holocene's our number one. Blood Bank, Restacks, Flume, 29 Stratford Apartments, Beth Rest for Emma, Hey Ma, Day One, 33 God. My brain isn't working correctly, but that doesn't mean we're not going to give Holocene a moment in the sun. Fucking hell. That's good. That's good, fellas.
I don't know if I've ever related to a lyric more than at once I knew I was not magnificent.
Good Lord. That strikes a chord. Especially right now as I try to wrap this up because, oh boy, am I not magnificent. Hey, everybody, we have done it. We have turned you on to Bon Iver. Maybe you are like me and only know the one song. Here's your chance to go ahead and get into him. Maybe you've been calling him Bon Iver this whole time like me. Also, duh.
And like Jason Bateman.
Like, so look, we're not alone, but we should be right about it. And now we are. There you go. Here's a 10 song list for you to listen to and get into them. It is worth noting. It is well worth the time it'll take you to listen to the entirety of his discography. It isn't a lot. I think it was like 5 albums, 60 songs. Like it will not take you too long to go through. It is worth picking through. It is worth just giving it the time to really kind of really pull in what this guy can do. But I think we've set you up nicely with this playlist. Hey man, you want to argue about it? Wherever you're listening to this, stop right now. Well,
bring it on.
Continue listening. Don't stop listening. Continue listening. But leave a comment saying, hey, this is what I think you guys got wrong. It's cool. We can agree to disagree. But if you're going to do that, please leave a 5-star review. It would be super appreciated. I would appreciate that more than I could ever put into words. Sharing is caring, of course. If you want, at times is tough. I get it. If you've got that little bit extra, patreon.com/ohhijustin. $1 a month gets you in the door. It gets you deprogrammed before the rest of the world. It gives you the conversation we're about to have where Brandon's going to release how we did versus, how many people have listened to these tracks. Just saying, that's the after the fact conversation that's about to happen. You also get the ever so occasional, oh, hi, Justin. I'm working on trying to get it back into my schedule. But Devils hockey just started. So maybe I'm a sports guy right now. All that also gets you access to the Discord server. And if you kick up to the $5 level, it gets you access to certain channels in the Discord server as well. Don't want to do any of that, but want to join the Discord, that's cool. Just ask me for a link. We'll get you there. Come in. We grow a tree. We count. There's deprogram panel channels where you can say, hey, I'd like to talk about this band and find people to talk about it, talk about them with you. There's also the Music League, all sorts of stuff happening in the Legion of Stupid Discord. Come hang. It's a good time. I mentioned sharing is caring. We're on all podcast platforms, so share it from wherever. But honestly, the best way to share is by telling somebody that you listen to the show. Hey, I listen to Deprogrammed, and you should too. And with that, Bon Iver. Learn them and love them, people. We will see you next week. Goodbye.